Casey on last time to talk about the first issue. I'm going to go ahead and put some of this first issue up as we talk about it. But we didn't get to hear your points of view and you on this. So as far as this was your idea, like from the go.
So the idea came around years ago, like back in like 2014, 2015. It was originally going to be part of a comedy universe of character and comics that I had done previously. I used to do a book called Latex Avenger. He has a sidekick spermicidal foam lad, and together they repel crime 99.9% of the time. Like totally superhero satire stuff. And but as I wrote the story, I didn't like the story and I shelved it, and I started playing with this art style and this idea of what the character would look like around 2017, 2018. Casey and I have known each other a long time, since around that time. And so he was talking to me over and over saying, you need to do something with the character. So I ended up writing basically kind of a Bible for what the story would be. And Casey originally was going to come on as an editor. And as we started talking more and more, he was coming up with great ideas and that sort of thing. So he came on as a co-writer onto the project, and that's how we've been working ever since. But the more that we work, I mean, Casey's so important to the entire project. He's incredible.
We got the last time we checked out the first issue, it was before it had come out, and we had only gotten up until about page 12, which is about where I'm about to get to here in the scrolling, and we didn't get to read the rest. But this time you sent me the whole issue, the first issue, and I got to get the completion of the story, and it's fantastic. Like I'm excited to see what happens with the second book. We got 7 pages from the second book that we'll go through here in a minute, but before we go into any of that, Sarah and Ross, give me some thoughts.
After reading what I've read the first time and coming back and actually finishing this thing, I think we knew who the antagonist was. I think we got up to the point with what is the first part of his name? The Thulu character.
Kung Fu Thulu.
Yes. And I mean, reading the whole entire thing now, and then it leads you up to the end, where at the end of episode 1, I was sitting there, I was like, literally like felt like a cliffhanger, and I'm like, okay, I'm on board completely. Loving everything about it. The last time we were talking about Bigfoot Knows Karate, the whole entire premise was just absolutely ridiculous, and I loved it. I was so for it, because I mean, Dan, to have an idea like that, to take something as simple as Bigfoot and just put the dude in karate school, give him a gi and let him start whooping butt, because no one can put a high kick up higher than that dude's going to.
Oh, he's two-fisted. He's two-footed. He's too furious, man. I mean, the whole idea was that I didn't want it to be a trite story about, the same martial arts movie revenge plot that we've seen so many times. We've seen it over and over. And so that was the big holdup for a long time. What can we do that would be completely different? So when y'all got the original, when we were selling the first campaign, we sold it as a punch 'em up, Bigfoot Knows Karate versus Kung Fu Thulu. That was the premise in which we sold it, because we didn't want anybody to know that there was a big twist at the end. And because we were really trying to guard that through the entire first campaign. Now cat's out of the bag, and I'm happy to discuss it with anyone. But even then, it's actually kind of weird to have to discuss it in detail, because you don't want to give anything up for issue 2. But yeah, it was awesome having him fight a Cthulhu and trying to come up with an interesting way for him to beat the Cthulhu. And it opened up to so many questions of, how would this even be possible, and, the idea that there was something bigger behind this whole thing than it was just, than just some big smash mouth fist fight. That was really important to me. And so we always liken the story to Godzilla versus Kong meets Kill Bill with a twist. But the twist was kind of like Lost, that there would be, that this is a story, built on questions and, and answering questions, but asking new questions as we go.
Well, it definitely raises some, because like I said, we didn't get the entire book the last time. So you were talking about the kind of change at the end, and it kind of happens right at this moment. This third voice comes into play, and I was like, okay. So we kind of see what happens here, and it's interesting. It's an interesting take. Like there's more behind the scenes that we don't know about what's going on
Right.
right here. So it definitely makes you want to read what's going on next to find out what is this about, because you feel like you know exactly, like you get settled in. Okay, I'm starting to get this. I understand what's going on here, and then it kind of flips a switch on you, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, now I got something else to figure out with this. So really enjoyed that.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
The idea that to do something that was, you know, trying to be unique in the story of a cryptid that does martial arts, that it has something larger going on in the background. We were trying to, there was, oh, I love this right here, because we tried not to do a lot of pop culture stuff, but that's my little nod to Karate Kid Part 2.
Yeah.
Just had to point that out real quick since it was right there. But well, I love that scene. I just love that scene. But in my mind, as I was drawing this, he was really going to go, on the Cthulhu's nose, but the Cthulhu didn't have a nose, so had to kill him instead, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, I
Karate
digress.
chopping the head off is a pretty good way to do it. Sarah, you got? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Please go ahead.
Well, the thing that kind of pulls me into it is I'm loving the illustrations, because I'm not really one for, when I look at comics, I prefer to have like book in hand. So for me to go through something, like a PDF like this, and it's the first thing that gets me is the visuals. And like I said, it's a really cool premise, because Bigfoot and karate are kind of like two things in my house. So I mean, just to let you, both my kids are doing karate. So
awesome.
So that's pretty that's pretty crazy. But I think what strikes me is just the visuals. It's, you have all the contrast, and it just pulls your eye in, and it's, it doesn't really feel like that traditional comic, because that's one thing I really enjoy about seeing a lot of other, non-mainstream type things. I want to see the artistry. That's what pulls me in.
Right.
But it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's I'm going to go through here and like read it again, to kind of get, because my eyes are like just going all over everything. So that's what I'm really like, really enjoying on this. So I give you kudos for that, buddy. Kudos for that.
Thank you.
You make good use of the actual
Mhm.
all of the frames in this. Just to piggyback off what she's saying, when you look at a comic book and you open it, and when you're looking at the page and your eyes just can't pick a point to go to, because there's just so much going on, but not in a point where you can't focus, but it's almost like you're reading the jacket, right, of a book, and your eyes are just skimming over it real fast to get an idea, and then you're like, oh, we're about to get into it, and then you start reading the text.
Right,
I love
and you're
that.
following the story with your eyes, and then that's when you go in. That's just the kind of way I approach comics. I want to see the visuals, and I'm like, oh, I see the story visually, and then I'll go in and actually read to see what's kind of fill in the details. But
well, when I'm looking at something to buy, that's exactly how I do it. I go to the store and I start flipping through the pages, and if it's something I've never heard of or something I'm just considering, if I could look at the artwork and be like, okay, like I'm interested to see what this is about, and I like the artwork here. So yeah, it's definitely a nod to that. It looks fantastic. I think I said last time, it reminds me kind of, I'm not sure who the artist is, but it's kind of Batman Ninja Turtles, the IDW comic. It's similar to that, and I love that kind of artwork. Like, it's kind of what it reminds me of here. I like this character at the end. It kind of looks like a Mr. Sinister Kal-El. It's just badass. I love that. I love that outfit.
it's like some frames you could actually put on your wall. I could see this on your back wall, Greg.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely could. That right there, that's a nice little cutout right there. I like that.
Thank you. I love that character. I've been so excited about that character since we were, since I was coming up with the end for this first one, and all the history that these two characters have with each other. I'm so excited to explore it. I'm so unbelievably excited to explore. We named him. He did get say his name in this issue, so I'll say it now. But his name is Grisha. And so really excited to see where he goes. It's funny. I tend to name characters from things that are familiar. My grandfather was a musician, and he in England. That's what he did professionally since he was a kid. and one of his very good friends who was a trumpet player, his name was Grisha Farfel, and that's where I got the name from, and it's Hungarian, and but we won't use his last name for the sake of the comic, but I love the name Grisha. I just thought that had such a great sound to it, and and where he comes from, that'll play out later on as well. So it was an interesting character to work with.
So you say that you can't wait to see how these two characters are like together, and wanted to bring this character out, this
Yeah.
Gracia at the end. So how big is this universe in your mind? Like, how much of this universe and storyline have you created? Are you like, do you have like a whole treasure trove to pull from, or is it just kind of some stuff's just make up as I go?
So this arc that we're working with, the 5-issue arc, this is mapped out, and and then beyond too. We know where we're going for the first 2 arcs of the book, and we also know some of the background of the that happened before the first issue. We know where we're going there, because one thing that we're doing is there was a artist who did some piece of fan art for us, who ended up going on our variant cover for the first issue. Here, let me show you. Well, here, actually, I have this right here. So this was a piece of fan art that we received. Okay.
Wow.
And you're beautiful, right?
Mhm.
This gentleman named Adam Caswell did this, and it, with the Cthulhu in the front and the Bigfoot in the back, and we ended up working with him. We took that piece of fan art, made a cover on the deluxe edition, and now Adam's got a wraparound cover on issue 2.
Wow.
Well, he's doing the interiors now for what is technically the 3rd book, but it's a side story that's going to take place that comes out between issues 2 and 3. Okay, that goes into a background prequel, that sort of thing, that explores some of the characters within the Bigfoot Knows Karate universe. So we're going to do that in one-shot stories that are, black and white, to exemplify Adam's artwork for sure, because it's going to be beautiful that way. And also that we can give you more background on these characters and show you where they came from. If you don't read them, you won't lose anything from the main arc. If you do decide to read them, you're going to have a really fun time doing that. So that'll be the next thing we kickstart after this book that we're doing right now.
Now, does that allow you? I mean, no, that's not what I want to ask. Do you appreciate the fact that being the level that you're on right now, and the ability to use something like Kickstarter, do you like having that option to just blow this whole thing up in such a small time frame, I guess, to really explore what you're trying to do? Because to do one shots at this stage is just, I mean, it seems phenomenal. Like, you're able to, you're ground flooring your own ground floor,
Well, yeah, I mean, I think there's a history that that we'd be crazy not to play with. This book is while I've had the character and the ideas and and all that stuff for a while, this book is very much born from the pandemic. It's born from Instagram. It's born from all of that. And so I've met so many amazing artists. You got to understand, we've received over 100 pieces of fan art for Bigfoot Knows Karate since we've been doing this.
That's awesome.
And it's amazing. And the amount of creators who have just give us a kind word of encouragement, or, people who just want to draw the character, the community that has really taken us in, and it's been really incredible. So for me to have like another artist play with the character, and to give Casey, let him go write more freely without having to listen to me, this is how we do it, give him some space to be do his thing creatively. It's awesome. So we know where we're going for the long term on this book. And so I think it's a really good time that we go ahead and start putting down some roots without spoiling it, and have some fun with it.
Yeah. It's an easy one to have fun with. That's for sure. I'm putting up some artwork from the second book here. We got 7 pages of this, and it's just the color scheme is beautiful.
Thank you.
It's like the reds and the yellows with the pastel colors too. It just all works together so well.
The
But
thing
I'm
that I
seeing
highlighted
some.
was the blue. Like I noticed, I love the blue cover that you have up on the Kickstarter page, but I've noticed like the inclusion of blue is such a massive color for some reason. For me, it just sticks out for this.
Oh yeah, because it's so different than everything else on here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you go from this this character out in the wild to this industrial complex situation that he's in, being electrocuted and tortured, and it changes the entire sensibility of the book. Even though it's the same character, same story, artistically, it was a real mind bender to get my head around it first, just because I was drawing. It's so the first book is so brushy and grungy and kinetic and just loose,
Organic.
organic. There you go. That feeling. That how do you translate this now into into this highly industrial, heavy tech environment? So it was a very much an exploration there for a while, getting used to doing it.
Yeah. Well, if these 7 pages are just from the second book, I can only imagine what Kaiju goes through here in this book. Like it's pretty intense. there looks like new characters introduced, new villains
Oh
introduced.
yeah.
Looks like he's going through some kind of torture or some kind of pain. He's definitely been captured. It's going to be interesting to read. So, when is the second book release?
So it's on Kickstarter currently right now.
Okay.
This will be coming out in end of March, beginning of April. We will be delivering the book out.
Which, congratulations! I mean, your Kickstarter looked like it blew it out of the water.
Not bad. We're really happy. We're really grateful for everybody who has been a part of this. I mean, I was blown away by it. We funded the book in 20 minutes, and so that was a good feeling.
Yeah.
I was really happy with that, and it was fun because we got to do it with my friend Chris from the book Crit, Homebrew Comics. We launched the books at the same time, and we did a live launch party on Instagram together. So we actually had like 230 people watch us, go live on Instagram or live on Kickstarter, and turned it into a bit of a to do and a gathering, get people excited, and we both funded in under 20 minutes, both campaigns. So it was a lot of fun.
That is awesome. Really, really. I mean, you put good product out, people will buy it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just the bottom line. So
grateful.
Oh yeah, we have a trailer here for the second issue.
Sure.
You want me to go ahead and play that one?
Sounds great.
Let's see what we got here. I want to see. Let me know if y'all can hear this. Y'all hear that?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Man, so one of those characters you see at the very end there, I didn't get to see on those 7 pages you sent me. So that's another new character there with some interesting looking guns, and I'm interested to see what happens with this too. So that's awesome, man.
We've got some cool characters. I'll just say, look forward to a chupacabra with a shotgun that'll knock your socks off. That's all I'm going to say to you. So
that's right.
So we have some cool stuff lined up for this issue. And if you notice, 9/10 of that video covered about the same amount of pages we showed you in the in the preview. So we didn't really give up too much. But we have a lot of really, we actually extended the book from 33 to 37 pages too. So there's some it's a little extra that we weren't originally anticipating at first. So we definitely want to bring a cool story together for you guys.
I believe you are doing that. Extra is always good when you got good stuff.
Extra.
So really, really cool stuff. Well, do y'all have any other questions? Anything else you want to comment about? the book? Ross, Sarah?
I love the work, man. I mean, like I'm finding a way to get part of all of this. I love what you got going on. The idea, like you said, extra. I don't know when to start, much less stop on a story. And so the idea that you're cramming all of this into something with such, to see where the last one ended was really good. Not to mention, I need some of those darts because it looked like it put his butt to sleep, and I'm all about that.
Nice.
But you got something magical here, man. I enjoy it. And
Man, thank you
kudos.
so much. I appreciate that. Y'all, thank you.
Easy to tell the truth. Sarah, do you have anything?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna share this one with my son because he's always looking for something that's new and unique. And like I said, Bigfoot and karate, that's 100% in my house all the time. We're always talking that. So yeah, I'm just I'll have to let him take a look at it, and Dan, I'll have to let you know his thoughts. He's 12, so it's
Okay.
kind of give you an idea.
Couple of F words in there, just so you know. Okay.
Have you been in my house?
I haven't. So that's,
It's
Have you
perfectly
ever been a
fine.
12-year-old? It's fun to say those words when you're a 12-year-old.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
But no, I think with like the imagery and that kind of thing, I think that's something that he kind of dabbles in comics a little bit, and it takes something kind of special to really catch his eye. And I feel like this is something that would definitely catch his eye.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Y'all are way too kind. I mean, seriously.
No, man.
You said
Y'all
it.
are awesome.
It's easy when you got something good, man.
Right.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
it's easy to tell the truth. I was gonna say I'm kind of in the same situation. I'm gonna show this to my daughter too. She's almost 16, and she's just a phenomenal artist and wants to get into stuff like graphic novels and animation and stuff like that. And she may be working with another independent creator we've had on here before, which will be
Cool.
pretty cool. So I know you've had a lot of fan art for this, but I'm gonna show her this and have her draw something up for you and send it to you because
That's awesome.
she loves art, man. She's just amazing, absolutely amazing. So, but Dan, Mark, whatever you want me to call you, I really appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate you. That's right.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate you bringing us Bigfoot Knows Karate Part 2. I'm looking forward to seeing how this story moves on. And when you start to promote number 3, let me know. We definitely want to have you on. We definitely want to keep going on with the story. But we will put all your Kickstarter information in the show notes. Any way to contact you in the show notes. So if y'all want to get a hold of this or check out Bigfoot Knows Karate, go check it out. I highly recommend it. It's an awesome book. Dan, is there anything else you want to say, where they can find you at, or anything else?
Yeah, no. I mean, if you can't remember any of the handles or anything, just remember BigfootKnowsKarate.com. So that is the easy way to find me. You can get to the Twitter, Instagram. The Kickstarter link is on there. T-shirt shop is on there. All of that stuff. So BigfootKnowsKarate.com. And please check out the Kickstarter. It ends November 11th, so 1 week from tonight. So we got some cool stuff in there. If you're a retailer, we got retailer packs. If you aren't a retailer, we got other things. So it's incredible. Amazing. I felt like I was supposed to go into like one of those, we're going out of business sale, and
Right.
I don't know.
Everything must go.
All comics must go.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
Well, Dan, I really appreciate it, man, and I can't wait to hear more from you. Just keep in touch and let me know whenever